Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and as you can see I'm back on Everquest playing on Project 1999. I kind of keep forgetting to do it, but I'll chuck a link down in the description box so you know where I'm playing, what I'm doing on, and how to get there. It's probably makes sense. Anyway, yeah, we're playing Everquest today. I was hoping to show you some dungeon footage today because both Mugwort and Berendire are level 24 now and just got some new spells, and I was gonna head off to Mistmore. I think I was gonna start off at, but I don't have as much time today as I normally do on my day off to sort of record and play. So I remembered that Noitus here, Noitus. I think so. I think someone did tell me the. I think someone pointed out the what the word means. I think it means sorcery, actually, which actually I thought was pretty cool in the end. I was quite happy with that. So thank you to whoever that was who mentioned that. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, but I remembered that Noitus here. Please tell me if the pronunciation is correct as well. It was nearly level 16, and I kind of wanted to get on the old feign death action. So I thought I'd log him in and get level 16. Yeah, as I said, I was hoping to do some dungeon stuff, but I just don't have the time today to get over there and get some stuff going. But both characters are level 24. I'm kind of leveling them up together. Not for much longer though, I don't think. I think I probably need to make a decision soon. Kind of approaching level 30. I mean, you know, realistically, I'm not going to be wanting to. I'm not going to be wanting to sort of level both characters through a hell level. You know, I kind of need to make up my mind before then. I think probably, and hopefully we will. It's strange really because I kind of prefer Mugwort as a character, as a model. You know, from a role playing perspective, all that kind of stuff. But I think the problem is that when you've played an enchanter, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, and I just need to melee this thing, don't I? A shaman has a you know, a superb box of tricks of its own, but I think ultimately once you've played an enchanter, it's difficult to play anything else because the things that they can do and they seem to have a spell for every situation, you know. So it's yeah, so it's difficult to then go and play something else, unfortunately. I'm trying, but we'll see. But I do need to make a decision soon. You know, for no other reason other than the fact, really, that Velius is coming out soon. You know, and I don't want to kind of be. I want to be able to go to Velius as soon as I can and record some footage because I, you know, personally love snowy environments in games. My favourite sort of environment to be in. So. Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of aiming for. So I do need to make a decision soon. It does seem as though Velius may be upon us. Yeah, well, you know, maybe it's only a matter of months now. I don't know how long the beta testing will go on for, but yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. So all of that means that I'm just getting to level 16. And actually, let's just go and see if what I've been doing is I do recommend Kenos for a new player. I recommend Kenos as a good starting area as long as you don't abuse the Null Fang quest. I think that's the thing. From a money point of view, I think that is. You know, if you're new and you're worried about starting off and having some cash to begin with, I think it's brilliant. You know, I kind of did the Null Fang quest up to a point where I think up to a point where I could kill bandits quite comfortably. And then after that, I killed bandits and handed in the sashes. Oh, there we go, level 16. Handed in the sashes, made some money that way, and then I've come over and I'm doing the wisps. If you kill wisps and give light stones or greater light stones to Rysilla here, she will give you experience, but she'll also give you, if you give in greater light stones, she also gives you a like a research book thing that you can sell, and it sells for 10 plat. So you know, I mean, I've now got 270 plat almost. And I haven't given him any cash from any characters, you know, just that's mostly just from doing wisps and bandit sashes. So yeah, it's a pretty good thing to do, I think. A pretty good place to start, I think, Kenos, if you're a new player and you're worried about yeah, those kind of things. If you're worried about money, how you're going to get along at the start of the game, I think it's pretty cool. A lot of people prefer free pool, I think, you know, because I think there's always a chance that you'll be given some stuff. some free stuff, and you get buffs as well, obviously, which help through the lower levels. But yeah, but if you want to do it yourself, yeah, you know, give Keelos a go. Right, let's mend some stuff here. I've got shield skin, which I'm probably going to use. Restless Bones is my new pet. So yeah, again, we'll probably be definitely using that. Spirit Armor. One of these, I don't know what Spirit Armor is. I'll have to check. One of these spells is like it's like a damage prevention, bit like the bit like the Enchanter's Runes. So I need to give that a go and find out what one that is. And there is Feign Death. I've got no idea how. I've got no idea if it works in a similar way to the monk one. You know, so that you can fail. I'm really not sure. Let's have a go. Silver Mist Wolf glares at me threateningly. Okay. So let us let me feign death. love the way they just collapse. Oh, this Silver Mist Wolf's indifferent now. Oh, cool. Okay. So I wonder if, as long as the spell casts, it's always successful. I'm not sure if there's a fail option. I know on the old the monk, it sort of comes up with a message like you've fallen down if it's failed. Oh, okay, I'll have to test that. That's pretty cool. So I'm feigned death. I'm a necromancer with feigned death. That's awesome. But I do need to. Let's not feign death anymore. Because I think for one, I don't get. I don't think the mana regen is as good as yeah. It is as good if you're feigning as if you are sort of meditating. I've got my new spell. I've got my new pet spell as well. Let's crack him out, shall we? Restless Bones. Level 16. Yeah, okay. We'll reclaim. Bye, Gibbon. You've been pretty cool. Yeah, but it's time for me to start a new one. Strange. I guess it's because. Oh, look, he's even con to me. Woohoo! I'm still getting even con pets at level 16. That's brilliant. This little guy here, Portly or something. His name, brilliant name. You know, and it hasn't been offensive anyway. But it's weird because he's come up to me and sort of said, "Have you got a grizzly bear skin?" Which I didn't have, or I'd have happily sort of given it to him. But he's a druid, and I don't know if it's because of the way I play the game or because of the way you get used to the game being played. You know, he kind of, I don't know really. If I'd have gone up to someone and asked them for something, and I was kind of thinking to myself, well, maybe they'll remember it if they get one and they'll give me a shout. I would kind of would have chucked a Spirit of Wolf on them, but no, not this guy. But there you go. That's the way it goes. I'm still getting a fair amount of XP for the Wisps actually, so I probably could just carry on doing these guys for a while, see how it turns out, make some more money and stuff. I don't want to do the same thing too much, though. I end up getting a bit bored. And I do need to go and farm some. I need to go and farm some bone chips actually somewhere. So that, yeah, maybe I should head over to Kern's Tower or something. But Tick or Zik, however you want to pronounce it. I've never seen that name before on a pet. That's awesome. I'm assuming there's just like a random name generator that's doing the stuff, but I've got no idea. But let's test some of these spells. Spirit Armor. I've got a topic today. I'll get onto it in a sec. Let's just see what these spells do. Yeah. Anyway, so topic for today is obviously the thing that's been dominating the forums, and that's the Pantheon Pledge push. The P99 guys have kind of just teamed up with the Pantheon, with Brad McQuaid and the Pantheon team, and essentially any pledge you do to Pantheon, well, not any pledge, but certain levels of pledges that you do, certain amounts that you pledge, means that it gives you a sort of a bonus on Project 1999. Some of the bonuses, I mean, I think that depending on how much you donate, you get a certain amount of experience pots, which is quite interesting. I guess you use a pot, and for a certain sort of set period of time, you get an XP bonus. I think there's going to be a general worldwide XP bonus, depending on again, I think depending on how much how many pledges they get, how much money is pledged to do the Kickstarter campaign. There are some other things as well. Depending on what level you pledge at, there's a chance to win a Guise of the Deceiver, or a pre-nerf fungi staff. I think probably. Yeah, I think that's it. And then probably the most contentious one. I'll kind of come to that shortly. But yeah, it's weird actually that it's the way this kind of thing really sort of divides people, and how angry people get about it. It's there's been a lot of crap on the forums. I mean, the forums. You kind of get. I think these kind of things bring out the trolly of the trolls, don't they? Yeah. The trolliest of the trolls. This sort of thing does bring out in people, unfortunately. But there are people who are upset, and probably, I mean, I think looking at it, probably I think everyone's kind of got a point to a certain degree. I think the problem with these kind of things is always kind of how you put that across. I think that's always some people just have difficulty putting across their point without ranting and shouting, and and kind of being a bit of a troll themselves, really. I think that's that's the weird thing. But I think everyone's got a point. I mean, there seem to be a few different camps at the moment. I mean, obviously, as I said, you've got the trolliest of trolls. You're always going to get them. Absolutely nothing you can do about that. But then you've got people who actually, I think, are just a bit annoyed that they're sort of coming for a particular experience. I mean, I wasn't around at the beginning of the server when the server started, so I don't know what was promised and what were the guidelines at the time. But I think a lot of people have come here for a pure classic experience, and I think when things like this happen, they don't feel that they feel that experience is being taken away from them. Essentially, I think, and they're. I think it just annoys them, really. It's not what they came for. I can see their point, but as I'll explain in a minute, I think ultimately, that's how it is. It's not EverQuest. It's some guys trying to recreate it, and if they kind of bend the classic rules every now and again, it's down to them. So that I mean that those guys seem to be the ones who have probably got the most issues. I think probably. I think they just feel that they're, from a classic point of view, it's kind of spoiling it. But there is an undertone though of I think with some of these guys where I think there's a certain amount of entitlement as well. I mean they feel that they've done things the hard way, and they feel they've done things the correct way. I think probably without all of these sort of paying for items essentially. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that stands up particularly. Again, I just think that you've got to somewhere along the line you've got to say, there are these guys here are kind of providing us with this experience because they want to, because they're sort of passionate about it, and I think essentially it's just difficult to complain about it. That's the way I look at it anyway. But yeah, I think there's a certain amount of entitlement as well with people. I think they're a bit peed off because, I think simply because they've done it. They feel they've done it the hard way. They've done it the way that how the server was supposed to, how it's supposed to be intended to have been done in EverQuest Classic. And I think the only thing that I strongly disagree with is people complaining about the fact that the server. People complaining about the fact that the server is already top heavy. We don't need more people getting to 60, quickly, and that's nonsense. I mean, that does smack of, that you, for some reason, you feel that you're entitled to be at the top and no one else is. You don't want someone coming along mucking up your whatever it is you've got going. I mean, my opinion is I think everyone's is entitled to be at the top. No one's got any rights over anyone else, irrespective of how long you've been on the server. I don't think personally. So I don't agree with that. That seems to be a comment that's been made a couple of times. But I mean, the problem with that is that's more to do with, I think, the fact that Velios hasn't been out, and we've kind of been stuck in we've been stuck in Kunark for a long period of time now. I think that's purely what the situation. I think that's what that issue is. I think that's why the issue has arisen. Why there are so many people at the top competing for the same the same stuff. yeah, so and then I think you've got a group like myself, um, who kind of just we're along for the ride, really. You know, I'm here because I wanted to experience. Actually, saying that, no, I've got bloody. Now I think about it, I was sorting my Everquest videos into a playlist the other day, and I've got sort of well over 10, maybe even sort of 15,000 um, Project 1999 video views. You know, where's my bloody fungi staff? Where is it? I mean, I'm entitled to it. That's no, but all kidding aside, you know, I'm one of those that kind of firmly sits in the camp of I'm just really happy to be here playing. You know, I have to say that 99% of the time that I've logged in, it's kind of felt like EverQuest. You know, I've never felt that it's been. Let's use this shield skin thing, shall I? See if it prevents any damage. Yeah, I've never felt that there's really been a problem with what the people who are running the server are doing. It's weird. I had a bit of a troll on the channel recently, and it's the first person I've ever banned. But I banned him because he was obviously pissed off at Circan for something. He obviously felt that he'd been, you know, unfairly treated in some way. But I kind of, I mean, for me, not always. Obviously, you get people that, you get people who you know, something happens and they get accused of something or they get banned or whatever, and it generally may not have been their fault. But I mean, I've been playing on the server for 13 months now. I've never had any issues. You know, I've never had to have a GM called to me to tell me off or to settle a dispute. You know, it's just we should be able to deal with sort these things out ourselves. You know, as I said, you know, it's as I said, I just think it's a smoke without fire thing. You know, I think that if you're playing a game and you find yourself in a situation where someone's had to come and tell you off, you know, maybe it is you. You know, because I've never had it in a game, and it's one of those things. Same with real life, really, is if that you get on with things and you keep your nose clean and you don't, you know, perhaps you go around causing trouble. Generally, you're going to be all right. That's the way that I look at it. You're going to be unlucky sometimes, of course, and you know we've all been there. But I wasn't. But I'm not. You know, but it's a weird thing that, you know. I just think that particularly if you then go to a channel, someone else's channel, and you're using their channel to vent your frustration, you know, I kind of feel maybe probably you deserve what you got. Oh, for God's sake, you know, to a certain extent. Oh wow, that didn't. That was lucky. It didn't aggro me, that did it? I was very lucky there. Could have easily got severely whooped. Right, I've got to be careful here. There's a guy. There's Corvic the Cursed. Look, indifferent. Yo. No, he doesn't. He's not interested. Oh, actually, I held a pincer beetle there. That's probably why. Anyway, back on topic. Yeah. So I kind of fall into the camp that I'm quite happy to be here. My 99% of my experiences have purely been mostly what I remember from playing EverQuest previously. You know, and I think that's fair enough. You know, no qualms about that. And I think I know it's an old term that's, you know, it's kind of dragged through the kind of beaten to death every time this kind of thing comes up. But I think it is true to say, it's not a cop out. It is true to say that these guys are doing it. You know, when I say nothing, I think that nothing's probably not quite right. You know, they get donations and things and whatnot, and I imagine it's probably quite enjoyable doing what they're doing because they're passionate about the project. But you know, essentially they are kind of doing this for our benefit, to come here and play classic EverQuest, and you know, I just find it difficult to complain about that kind of thing. You know, it just seems a bit churlish to be, you know, even if I'd been here for 10 years, you know, and I was set in my ways, yeah, and I still would take the view that, you know, these guys are doing me a favour essentially. But not everyone feels that way, and you know, what can you do? So that's kind of that, really. You know, I can understand why people are a bit frustrated about the pledge thing. A lot of people also just don't. I think you've got some people who just don't really feel that Brad McQuaid is up to it. You know, and they've probably been on the server for a long time. And maybe there's a feeling that people are being rewarded because they believe that Brad McQuaid will produce something, you know, but they don't want to pledge money, you know, because they don't believe that that's the case. So again, that's another point. You know, you sort of you almost have to be. I suppose actually, when you think about it, if you're really that interested in getting some XP potions or a guise or a staff or whatever, you know, then you can pledge the money anyway. I guess that, unless you really hate Brad McQuaid for whatever reason, if you know it happened to him personally, if he happens to have done you wrong, sort of personally, in sort of, you know, in life at some point, then yeah, maybe you'll maybe you won't want to. But I guess you can look at it that way really as well. You know, maybe that you will. You're pledging to Pantheon, but actually what you're doing is you're paying for some stuff in Project 1999. I don't know. It's a complicated thing, you know. And people, psychology, the way people's minds work is completely and utterly random, and I don't think anyone absolutely knows anything about it, even psychologists. I think that's the all point. It's all part of being human, isn't it? You know, you're just we're all just a bit crazy, and we get cross and angry and passionate about things that other people would just think, well, what's the point? But getting on to the point where I feel that maybe, you know, there is a point. If I haven't used point too much in that sentence, I think it's the Velius early access. I can probably understand some people being a bit annoyed about that. I think the situation here is you've probably got a lot of people on this server who've been playing it for a long time, and they've been waiting for Velius a long time, been quite patient. Maybe they've contributed, made videos, that kind of thing, streamed. And it's got to the point where kind of Velius is just about to come out. You know, it's pretty close, and they've discovered that actually you can buy your way into Velius for early access. You know, and that's the only one that I'm slightly about. You know, I think the guys, people who are maybe a bit fed up with that, maybe a bit more justified than anyone else. I think that one maybe is a bit of an issue. I don't really know much about Velius, to be honest with you. I did play it when it came out on live. I had a druid running around Velius for quite some time, but I wasn't an expert. You know, I visited a few dungeons, believe it or not, but I'm not an expert, so I don't know what effect this will have on the server or the economy or the raid scene. Early access, again, you know, call me a fool, but I'm pretty confident that you know, the P99 guys will implement it in a way that means it will be, you know, it won't cause a problem essentially in the long term. But that's the only one I can understand people maybe being a bit peed off about. That's maybe there's a bit of a point there. But that's it really. Yeah, that's kind of been the hot topic on the forums for this week. You know, if you pledge to Pantheon, it's possible to get some bonuses in Project 1999. And yeah, but people have obviously got lots of different views about that. But we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm quite happy to give them the benefit of the doubt until it all goes until it all goes pear-shaped. The other thing as well with Pantheon, of course, is that it's sort of the thing that sort of I mean I'm probably going to pledge to it because I think that's the thing maybe that we should all remember is that essentially it is a, whatever you think of Brad McQuaid or, you know, and promises that he did or didn't keep during the Vanguard kind of development, it is, I mean, there is someone here trying to develop a game that we want to play, you know, the sort of game that we want to be involved in, because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm like massively jaded from an MMO point of view. I mean MMO is my favourite genre, but I mean I'm so jaded I've got a green glow, you know, in a green glow that comes out my eyes, and it's like green tinge to my skin. That's how jaded I am. You know, it's just kind of fed up with it all, really. I think for single player games as well. I mean I come from old school gaming, so I'm used to a sprite based game. It's all about reactions and skill and you learning the game. But games have kind of moved towards a real story driven sort of aspect now, and while I think that's fine, you know, to a certain degree. Like Vampire the Masquerade, for example, is one of the few games I feel where the story and the atmosphere of the world works brilliantly. So you don't have to worry about the the kind of the gameplay mechanics too much. But I think 99% of games, particularly MMOs, have just taken the whole story thing too far, and they're kind of ignoring game mechanics. And that's what I get from reading the Pantheon sort of Kickstarter pages. That's you know, there's obviously going to be a story, there's going to be lore, but the actual mechanics of the game and how the game works do seem to be quite important, and that's what's most important to me. So that's why I'm you know, I've sort of looked at it and thought to myself, I'm quite interested, and I'll probably sort of pledge a bit. Maybe get some XP pots, you know, and I can't sell them now, unfortunately. I was thinking to myself, XP pots that I can sell. That's going to, I mean, that's really going to bump up my fungi tunic fund. But no, they've made them no drop now, I think. And I thought, you know, and let's be honest, I think that's probably the most sensible thing to do. Even though I was thinking to myself, oh, I could probably make you know, maybe a few K plat out of those. I'm not quite sure how much they would have been worth, but but yeah, that would. I think making them no drops probably sensible. I mean, I personally don't think this stuff will have too much of a long-term impact on the server. Really, I mean, you know, you'll get people leveling a bit quicker for a period of time while they've got the potions. I also believe that there's going to be a bit of a Great Alliance Stone. I think it's going to be a bit of a worldwide XP bonus, server-wide XP bonus as well. Just to sort of help people along, and you will get people leveling artificially for a period of time. But you know, that's not a problem. Once Velius comes out, hopefully things will be, you know, we'll all be spread across the 3 continents a bit more evenly. You know, I think that's the way it is. Anyway, yeah, so I think I've kind of covered pretty much the situation, and kind of, you know, given you my opinion. I mean, you might disagree with that. If you do, yeah, just have a bit of a chat in the comments about it. Try and keep it clean if you can. You know, I'm not trying to incite any arguments here. That's just purely my opinion on what I've seen so far. Try not to be a trolliest of troll if you can help it. But yes, I'm level 16 now. And I've got Feigned Death, which I've barely used since I got it. But I'm sure it'll be a super duper item, a super duper spell, I should say. Yeah, going up in the levels. Shield Skin seems to be the damage absorption spell, because it's taking a cat's eye a gate every time I cast it. So I think that's probably the one. I'm not sure what Phantom Leather is then. I think maybe Phantom Leather is that a bit of health regeneration. I don't know. I'll have to check the wiki. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. I don't have too much else to say at the moment. I'm hoping to bring you some dungeon action quite soon once I've got a bit more time to record. There's another Willow Wisp. Let's go and do that. I can see myself sitting here for another level doing these damn Willow Wisps. But they're a bit slow XP wise now. So what I need to do is, I think, just throw in some other stuff into the mix, basically. Just to need to chuck in some dark blues to bump up that XP. Anyway, guys, I think that's probably it. I'll try and do another video soon. Fingers crossed, it might be sort of over the weekend, get something up. But I just thought I'd do some footage basically, because we're quite short on footage, aren't we? On I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but we're quite short on YouTube footage at the moment, with regards to Everquest and Project 1999. Yeah, so we need something to watch, don't we? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon.